everybody, and welcome to another Doctor Who review. This time, I'm reviewing a second Doctor story, Patrick Troughton's Tomb of the Cybermen. As always, I have the television companion, and I'm going to be reading the plot synopsis from this very story. The TARDIS arrives on the planet Telos, where an Earth archaeological expedition, led by Professor Parry, is attempting to uncover the lost tombs of the Cybermen. With a lot of help from the Doctor, the archaeologists enter the tombs. There, one of the party, Klieg, reveals himself and his business partner, Kaftan, to be planning to revive the Cybermen. He wants to use their strength, allied with the intelligence of his own brotherhood of logicians, to create an invincible force for conquest. It transpires, however, that the tomb is actually a giant trap designed to lure humans suitable for conversion into further Cybermen, a fate that almost befalls Kaftan's assistant Toberman. After fending off an attack by Cybermats, small but dangerous cybernetic creatures, the Doctor eventually defeats the revived Cybermen, led by their controller, and reseals the tombs. The controller is apparently destroyed in the process. So, Tomb of the Cybermen, the first story of the 5th season of Doctor Who. The first full season starring Patrick Troughton, and introduces Victoria Waterfield, played by Deborah Watling, as a full-time companion. This is where the kind of Base Under Siege format starts to kick in really majorly. All of the stories this season are monster stories of some form or another, and this one is no exception. This is seen as a classic from the Doctor Who community. Do I think the same? Well, we'll find out. Overall, quite lovely atmospheric piece, bit of Hammer horror elements to it as well. Some of the bits, the music kind of works well. One of the best bits I do like about this is the scenes being shot outside. I know it's a quarry, but they do look suitably alien, and it's very well paced and outside with the bit where they're blowing it out for the entrance of the tomb. The set inside is great, both the set where the Cybermen are frozen cryogenically, and of course that famous scene of them coming out of the tombs. And then we've got, of course, the main control area as well, which is very cleverly put together and using logic to open everything up, which is quite cool. A couple of other sets as well. You've got processing, the reviving set, and then you've got another set which is for processing, I believe, if I remember correctly. Mental processing. So yeah, there's a few sets in here. It's a good story overall, and I do think it's a charming one. Lots of horrors, body scares. The Cybermen are brilliant in this story. Technically, maybe they're a little bit meh. I don't know. We'll get into that in a minute in regards to their voices and the way they're acting and the actors involved. But we'll go into the characters first. We've got the Doctor. We've got Patrick Troughton. Not the bumbling, scaredy cat that people are underestimating in this. He is very more scheming in this. It's still very much what me and Jamie saw when we did Power of the Daleks. It's still got that scheming edge. There is the intelligence, the likability of this Doctor, but certainly he doesn't come in as a bumbling hero. He knows exactly what's happening. He knows how to open the gates and that straight off. He shows intelligence there. It's interesting seeing this version of the 12th Doctor, the second Doctor, because it's something we don't see a lot of later on. We see more of the character that we all love, this friendly, bumbling character that has a secret dark side. This dark side is already there and planning, and it's a great characterization from Patrick Troughton here. You got Fraser Hine playing Jamie, fitted into the role by now. You can see they're comfortable with each other, and I love the fact that Patrick Troughton and Fraser Hines are playing off each other with the comedy elements. That scene where they're going into the tomb for the first time, and the Doctor thinks it's Victoria's side, puts her hand up and they hold hands, and then finds it's Jamie and brushes it away. Oh, don't do that. That sort of thing of them getting involved and having that kind of relationship is definitely there by this point. And then we've got Victoria, played by Deborah Watling. Not bad, actually, outing for Deborah Watling here. I know there's not much in the archive that we can see of Victoria. There's Enemy, and there's Web of Fear. Are the only Enemy of the World and Web of Fear are the only ones that we can see on screen. Solid performance from Deborah Watling. Perils of Pauline to a small extent, of course. Didn't expect anything else really, but there was times where she showed her intelligence a little bit, and she does scream for effect to throw off Kaftan near the end, which was quite cool. Then you've got the guest cast. You've got Professor Parry, played by Aubrey Richards, gruff archaeologist type, very much the character. Thinks he's the leader, but actually there's other people in between. You've got Klieg, who's played by George Pastel, probably the main villain in this, trying to utilise the Cybermen for his own purposes. Doesn't quite work. Kaftan's actually quite a strong female character, played by Shirley Cooklin, very scheming. And then her henchman Toberman, played by Roy Stewart. A bit stereotypical, causing a black man to be a slave, but then again, it was probably a feature of its time and does kind of grate a little bit now. He plays it well, and the strongman character he plays, he works well. Fairly mute strongman character. He plays it well, but it's kind of stereotypical. Nature of the time, I suppose. You've got other characters like Peter Hayden, Bernard Tolley's character, Ted Rogers, Alan Johns. You've got John Viner, Cyril Shaps, who's probably the archaeologist I recognise the most. He's been in other stories for Doctor Who after this, I believe, as well as before, so he's a semi-regular guest artist here. You've then got, obviously, the Cyber Leader, played by Michael Kilgareth. Big 6'4" man, probably platforms as well to make about 6'7", 6'8", with this big brain dome on top. First time we see the Cyber Leader, Cyber Controller rather, and at this point the Cybermen are kind of got this metallic voice going through them. It's not this up and down sound that you heard in the very first story. I can't really do it that well. Nicholas Briggs does it a hell of a lot better than I do. And so, of course, does Roy Skelton, who originated it. But this time we got Peter Hawkins. He's coming up a lot on the channel at the moment, in various formats. He's in a couple of the Kids Doctors doing voices for a couple of the Kids Doctors coming up. He did it for Jimbo, which has just come out. He's in Superhead Ted, that's coming out next week. He's done Penny Crayon, and he's also done Family Nest, which we've done already for Kids Doctors. He's done loads of voices in those, but he was the original voice of the Daleks. And he does voices here. This is his last credited appearance, I believe, doing the Cyberman voices in Tomb of the Cybermen, which is really cool. Overall, yeah, as I say, kind of Hammer Horror story line. You get scares there, a bit of misdirection in the scares as well, especially the cliffhanger to the first episode, where I think it's Callum gets shot. Is it Callum or was it Hayden? I think it's or Ted. I can't remember. One of the minor characters, anyway. They get shot in the back, but it looks like he's been shot from the front. This misdirection thing. The bit where Deborah Watling, poor thing, she actually was claustrophobic, gets shot in the reviver for the cyber reviving room. She really was scared, claustrophobic, and that wasn't acting, as far as we understand. She really was claustrophobic in there. Although I don't believe she was actually in there for most of it. They did get somebody else to do the knocking bit, where Kaftan knocks on the door. The direction by Maurice Barry is actually quite cool. I love the direction there. All right, there's a couple of technical bits you see. I mean, you can see the Kirby wires hanging off from Toberman for no man's business. I love the fact that the Cyberman gets ripped apart by Toberman and all the goo comes out of them. The Cybermen have got 3 fingers in this one. So they're like that with their gloves, which is quite interesting. And of course, the famous scene of them bursting out the tombs. It works. It still works nearly 50 years down the line, over 50 years down the line, and certainly is one of the most enduring images of Doctor Who. And Maurice Barry's direction is actually well regarded in this story, and you can see why people thought it was a classic, especially those scenes. And they do live up to it. But there are a few things that obviously kind of grate a little bit in here. Some of the effects do detract from it a little bit. The Cybermats are well done, but there is a couple of elements in it I'm not quite keen on. I do love the bit with the Troughton talking to Patrick Troughton's Doctor talking to Victoria about forgetting the family and the family back in mind of that, because obviously Victoria's just lost her father in the previous story, Evil of the Daleks. And that little sweet scene is one of the best scenes of early Doctor Who, as far as I'm concerned. But overall, The first 2 episodes are fine. Third one is obviously usual filler. Fourth one, fairly satisfying conclusion. Easy to see, to be fair. You can see maybe that was how it's going to work with the electrocution. Now they set a lot of that up, but not really much of a surprise. I mean, I do enjoy it overall, but it's definitely one I'll go back to watch. But it's not one I'll watch all the time. All the cast is good. They act it very well. There's no really problematic acting in there. The story itself is pretty solid. Kit Peddle and Jerry Davis do a good job. But overall, it's not one I would come back to as a favourite. It is probably one of the best Troughtons out there, and for that it helps with the review. But it's not. It is a classic, but it's not the best of Doctor Who. Although it does rate highly in my eyes, it's not the best of Doctor Who. There are better ones out there, and you still to see them. But yeah, no, it's good, but it's not full 5 TARDISes out of 5. I would say this is 4.5 TARDISes out of 5. Now, let's see where Tomb of the Cybermen falls in with the rest of the reviews done so far. Tomb of the Cybermen is the 5th 4.5 TARDISes out of 5 review of the series. 20 reviews in, and the top 5 is the Happiness Patrol, Inferno, Day of the Doctor, The Caves of Androzani, and Tomb of the Cybermen. The bottom 5 are Vengeance and Varos, The War Machines, Amy's Choice, all on 3.5 TARDISes out of 5, and then the 3 TARDISes out of 5 are The Idiot's Lantern and Battlefield. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Tell me what you think of Tomb of the Cybermen. Tell me if you think I've underscored it, overscored it. What do you like? What do you not like? Give me a suggestion of what other reviews you want me to do, of course. 20 down. Over 200 to go still. It is a lot of Doctor Who still to go through here. And I've only just got 20 done. Just realised that today. It's 20 reviews I've done here. Hard to believe I'm thinking something like that in 2017 would come to 20 reviews now. I've reviewed a lot more this year, of course, but that's not the point. Anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to like it and share it with the hashtag teamstructor. That always helps. If you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you know when a new video comes out. And also, check out a video every Sunday, 4 PM GMT is the general rule. You might be videos in between, but next week is a Kidstructor, so I hope to see you then. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.